Imagine if a superpower like China helped the world's poorest country. Having China on its side is nearly as good as hoping for the best, as China has decided to spend $12 billion in Afghanistan. The $12 billion that China has invested in Afghanistan will be discussed in In this video, we'll also take a look at the prospects of the project overall. Get moving, will we? Afghanistan has been plagued by terrorists for almost 2 decades. Afghanistan has never had a single year to focus only on self-improvement. It has always had a hard time staying alive. The instability has been fueled by both internal and foreign factors at different times. Yet there have been 4 wars. For whatever reason, Afghanistan was unable to breed readily. For as long as anybody can remember, the locals have sought peaceful coexistence. They merely want to lead ordinary lives. Terrorism has affected not just the people of the country, but also the economy as a whole. The government has lost a lot of money on the wars. Although it's unfortunate that Afghanistan has spent over $2 trillion on ending the war, it's encouraging that the country's leadership has announced an era of peace. They have decided to call off the battle with everyone. Both safety and prosperity for the state would be ensured. Those in charge made a call, but prosperity is not always the case for those who have had to fight instability for a significant period of time. As a result of internal problems, a country can't focus on anything except protecting itself. All of the country's manufacturing capacity was wiped out. Without encouraging progress in all sectors, infrastructure deteriorates. There is no way for these countries to catch up to the rest of the world. When it came to defense and safety, Afghanistan focused exclusively on domestic issues for a long time. Now that they've resolved the issue, though, they need to focus on progress. Sadly, they are not equipped with the information necessary to improve their country's infrastructure. Highways and railroads of any quality are out of the question. Yet Afghanistan is rich in oil reserves. Up to 1,400 mineral fields may be found here. It has access to valuable assets including gold, minerals, and natural resources, yet the problem is that they don't have the technology to fully take use of these assets. This means that even if they have many more resources than a strong country, they are still unable to compete. They have no value if the minerals cannot be extracted. Therefore, what can Afghanistan do to aid the situation? Do you think it should ever stop trying to become better? In no way is that the case. The only hope for Afghanistan's survival is foreign aid. Aid for Afghanistan must come from countries with cutting-edge technology. They must work with a country that is more advanced than Afghanistan immediately. The problem, however, is that many countries have worked with Afghanistan but have done so just to exploit its resources. With Afghanistan's help, they've been able to further their own interests. In addition, these countries have met in the political arena of Afghanistan. It is something that the people of Afghanistan strongly oppose. Afghanistan needs the assistance of a partner who can contribute to its progress. There's also the partner's responsibility to look after its own needs. That's why it doesn't need any kind of superpower to do. Afghanistan is solely interested in working with China. Therefore, they will need someone with a track record of forging partnerships that benefit both sides. Afghanistan now values China's contributions to the country more highly than in the past. The United States has the world's largest economy, but China is growing at a quicker rate because of its constant improvement. Thus, if China decides to help Afghanistan, that country will count itself very lucky. A deal agreed between China and Afghanistan in 2022 called for Chinese investment of over $12 billion in the country. This undertaking is known as the Enact Copper Mining Project. Many mining ventures between China and Afghanistan have been successful. On the other hand, this attempt has the attention of everyone. This project will run for 25 years. In essence, the two countries are engaged in a joint oil exploration project. Afghanistan would be given access to China's fast technology for extracting oil. China plans on removing over 80 million barrels of oil from Afghanistan's oil reserve. Investments will be made yearly, and for the first 3 years in a row, they will increase each year. Investment in the project might reach $12 billion thanks in large part to China's $150 million contribution. With the high demand for Afghan oil from other countries, this venture stands to bring in substantial revenue for Afghanistan. Doing business will be straightforward. In this manner, Afghanistan will have a vast client base that will rely on it, and it can begin mending fences with the rest of the world. Afghanistan's economy will benefit from the increased focus and stability that this effort would bring. As Afghanistan starts to legitimately sell oil, the country's reputation will improve across the world. What China would gain by working with the United States is the more pressing issue. Since Afghanistan cannot afford to imitate China's economic model, it must rely on a variety of foreign suppliers like ferry, ebb, and sample. 3 provinces have been designated for Chinese oil exploration. The oil fields include an area of around 4,500 square kilometers. Daily oil production from these fields might reach 1,000 barrels. So, working together will be advantageous for both countries. But after 25 years of work, it is no longer the case. Around this time, several new projects will launch. The number of ongoing initiatives is expected to remain sizable. The next issue is what type of future prospects these partnerships have. To what extent will this keep occurring? More than only helping both nations get more oil and increase their financial benefit, this collaboration will be immensely advantageous to them. Furthermore, other projects will be completed successfully. The infrastructure of Afghanistan must be fixed first and foremost. Infrastructure including transportation networks, educational institutions, and medical facilities all need updating. In terms of infrastructure, China stands alone at the top of the globe. As an added bonus, China's participation in each project would assist the people of Afghanistan battle their high unemployment rate by creating a number of new job openings. Thus, Afghanistan will reap several advantages thanks to China's assistance. Beijing is worried that Afghanistan would become another country within its sphere of influence. On the contrary, it will help it go forward with its Belt and Road Plan. In this way, both countries benefit. Of course, there are always drawbacks to consider. Due to the existing state of affairs, China is confronted with a few initial difficulties. Try as you may, finding work in Afghanistan may be difficult. Terrorism may still be an issue in Afghanistan due to the country's lack of security measures, therefore, operating there is risky. Employees from China who are thinking about moving there should do a thorough risk assessment before making their decision. The project will be canceled if bad circumstances arise. Yet, because to China's significant aid to Afghanistan, the country does not want this to happen. If everything goes as planned, it is unacceptable to risk the lives of Chinese employees on the jet party. This effort will help Afghanistan get international recognition. One may make the case that China and Afghanistan are committed to cooperating with one another and have high hopes for their future partnership. And there would be no obstacle if the two nations decided to talk openly with one another. Please comment and share your thoughts. If you're interested in seeing a video about another stunning endeavor, go here.